I'm interested in any comments you might have that would expand on your general interest in the branded apparel companies, Liz Claiborne and Jones. And the second question is, I wonder if you would comment on the future of Freddie Mac with all the current brouhaha. Every year there's new brouhaha, as you know, with the buyback of the 30-year bond and the search for a new benchmark, and the Treasury saying that perhaps the agency securities were not backed by the full faith and credit of the government.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to help you too much on some of those because we may have some views, but they may be things that we don't really want to talk about. The Liz Claiborne and the Jones Apparel investments you're talking about, the Jones Apparel is a decision that was made by Lou Simpson at Geico. Lou runs a separate portfolio of equities for Berkshire. They're held in Geico, but obviously they're for the account of Berkshire. And that portfolio is well over $2 billion. And to some extent it can be expanded or contracted based on what Lou would like to do. And he runs that 100% on his own, and he's compensated based on how that portfolio does. He makes decisions, buying and selling, without talking to me at all, which is the way we like it. Sometimes there's an overlap in our decisions, but for example, when I first found out about Jones Apparel, I'd never read an annual report of the company. I didn't know what they did or anything, but that's Lou's baby, and he's very good at managing money, and he's a fellow that has 100% of my trust. So I know his general criteria for investing, which is quite similar to mine, not identical, but quite similar to mine, and he's got a familiarity with businesses that again is quite similar to mine, but not identical. And he runs a good portfolio, and it makes life a little easier for me not to have that 2 and a fraction billion that added to all the rest that I'm having trouble investing. Liz Claiborne came about a little differently. I got a call one weekend actually on purchasing a large block that someone was going to sell, and we bought that on a Monday morning in London. I remember that it was never reported on any exchange. I'm not quite sure even how it happened, but the broker that handled it arranged the trade over there. And they've had a very, very decent record. They buy in their shares. I like the business that they run. It's not a Coca-Cola type business or a Gillette type business or even an American Express business, but we were offered that stock at a very attractive price, and it's worked out fine. The Freddie question I'd rather not get into, frankly, because there's a lot of political overtones to that. Charlie?
I can pass as well as you can.
Okay.